I wish it would, like on my iPad, I wish it would show all our avatars when we do a group call. It don't show them, it just shows yours.
Oh, that's different. You there, Zig? Zig, I think you might be muted.
He might have just logged in to get logged in. And
Well, it looks like he answered the call. More technical difficulties.
It's called Late Night Romances, Early Morning Gaming for Zig. Well, what time is it where he's from? Where's he at? Canada?
It's actually the same time as me, 10:05.
Okay, cool.
Actually, the same time as you, right?
Yeah. We're
Well,
all on the same boat.
Don't yell, buddy. Huh, I don't hear... It looks like he's added to the call, but maybe he accepted and went get some coffee or something.
Yeah, I guess you don't have a way to edit audio when you record, huh? Like you can't chop off the beginning bits of...
I could.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can. I think last time I just got lazy. I just put the whole thing up. It was all jumbled up anyway. Yeah, he didn't respond to that either. Huh.
Ziggy. I just said just the way his name is up on my thing here, the Ziggi.
Yeah.
Ziggy. You get some hangover medicine.
Yeah, I don't know. Well.
Okay, I figured it out.
He's like, don't call me Ziggy, man.
I figured it out. I had my Xbox controller plugged into my computer, and for some reason it thought that I would have the headset that goes with it, so it kept, I guess, sending sounds to my Xbox controller.
Oh, okay.
Weirdness. Anyway, I'm here.
I talked to Carl. He said he would most likely be in a little bit late. And I talked to Aaron. He said he couldn't play. And I invited Blue Spruce 786, but he has to watch the kids today. So.
Okay. Gotta grab my dice.
And I am watching my son today, so we'll see how the audio goes. He likes to squeal and cry really loud sometimes. So.
He's been pretty good compared to some other games I've been in with a couple of kids in the background. Golf Dog has to like turn off his video, mute his sound, just so he can like get onto him real quick.
Yeah, I gotta do that too.
He does a dad yell. Because even though you got to do it, you're still embarrassed as a dad when other people see you yell at your kid, man. It's embarrassing.
Womp, 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 womp. All right. It looks like it's being recorded. I tested this new program, so I'll just make sure I take notes in case this fails as well. But, yeah, I'll change it.
So yeah, I guess I probably went into my room once everybody talked it up and drank it up and ate up and all that. I think I left off by saying, yeah, I just went up in there to meditate and possibly crack open that book if I could figure out how, since it's chained up. I'm inspecting the chain, seeing if it's locked up magically or if it's something that has a latch that I can unlatch, perhaps.
Well, the interesting thing, I guess we'll get started. Zig, we're gonna deal with Jeremiah first, and then we'll bring you in, I guess.
Yep.
All right, so you're in your room by yourself, trying to figure out, what's going on with this chain. And the interesting thing is once you have the intent of trying to get the chains off, they unlock and fall to the side of the book.
All right. Kind of with my eyes widened a little bit. Yeah, I grabbed the cover and opened it up and just tried to see what the first writings are about.
All right, the cover itself is dark, as we talked about before. It doesn't look like it's been opened in a very long time. In fact, as you open it, flecks of what you think might be leather or skin crumble off of the binding itself and sort of fill the air. The dust sort of swirls, and whatever bands of light are coming in from, I guess it's dark, it's at night, but the light of perhaps a lamp. You just see the dust swirling in the air around you. The cover opens up, and at first there seems like there's just blank pages. Nothing's written. And you kind of, flip through them perhaps. 1, 2, 3. And then there's sort of you just notice that there's a swirling pattern to the dust particles in the air that seem to be revolving around you. They are all moving in one motion. It's not as chaotic and random as it was before.
There's a certain type of pattern, or just a kind of a spiraling around me, perhaps.
Yeah, like a current of air seems to be moving around you and taking the dust with it. You can see this because of the lamplight.
Yeah, not really too concerned about the dust. My interest is guiding my curiosity is guiding my intuition at the moment. And I just overlook the dust and try to pay attention to the pages, see if there's any writings that I can understand.
The first actual writing that you find, it's on the 5th page, matches exactly to what was written in blood in your spell book. It is an invocation of the Keiko demon. And it looks like it was written in blood and burnt to the page, just like yours was.
Okay.
But this one looks perhaps older than what's written in yours. Like if you would pull out your spell book right now and look at it, yours would look fresher than this one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably turn the page, recognizing the spell, knowing that I don't have the ability to control that spell. I kind of lose interest in that first page. I do take note on the different technique that might have been used from that time. Maybe it alters the spell differently, but I'll just take note of the age and perhaps if it was written slightly differently.
All right, as you turn the page, you do see a lot of various arcane writing. They look like spells that are listed in various ways. The wording itself is strange. It seems like you would understand it in time if you studied it, but right now it's a little bit hard to fathom. It's almost like you recognize the words, but the patterns, the way the words are used in order is strange to you. You think you will need some study. Okay.
I do glance, and not really deep into the book, but I glance around the inside coverings just to see if there's any just weird notes, perhaps just random note taking from the previous owner, or perhaps little drawn maps or anything that looks like it was a doodle of some sort, maybe on the inside of the cover.
When you get to the back cover, all of the dust in the air stops and starts to just fall and flutter to the ground. There's a fine layer of that dust on the ground around your feet.
Okay.
And from the room around you, a voice breaks the silence. You have opened and freed me.
What? Who speaks to me? Freed who? Who are you?
I am bound to
to me, bound to me. Not another one. Do you have a name? May I call you by your name?
Names are for invocations. All I require for your training is a soul.
Does this soul have to be of the pure kind or the corrupt kind?
I take all manner of corrupt and innocent souls.
I'm not one to deliver souls at anybody's whim.
Then yours will suffice.
But I would not say that I would starve you. I do come across plenty of foul creatures and beings from places that I do not connect or agree with. Perhaps in the future I could help you with your hunger of souls.
As you're speaking, you feel the caressing motion of what seems to be about 15 hands moving on your face, your neck, your arms, your legs. There's a gentle tugging motion of various pieces of clothing, hair, etc.
I say, be patient. You will not obtain my soul yet.
By opening the chains, you have to make a decision. Yours or something else. One a week, or else yours is mine.
Seems I have no choice. My curiosity has led me to this seeming soul trap.
Open the covers when you are ready to give. And then I will give freely with both hands.
Well, so be it. Let us end this for now. You will have your soul. Perhaps it will be mine. But I cannot extend my assistance for your hunger right now. I will not forget this, though.
I won't let you.
So yeah, I'll shut the book. I do try to look around to see how, like when you said that dust fell in a very, very thin layer. Is it like big enough to be visible to the eye? I mean, can I scrape some of it up and perhaps save it, or?
Yeah, you could do that. That's fine.
Okay, I just didn't know how micro it was. If it was like too micro, it doesn't matter. Little nano particles or something.
You can scoop it up and put it in a small sack of some sort, a pouch.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll just, if I don't have a pouch, I'll just rip a piece of cloth from something, maybe the corner of the bed sheet if there is one, or a bed rug. Perhaps, yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll do is I'll cut a piece of cloth, and I'll pour some candle wax, saturating the cloth. Let it dry a little bit. I'll let it dry, and then I'll put some dust in it, and then kind of band it off like a little pouch. Keep it waterproof.
While you're doing that, the chains that were covering the book close on their own volition. They lock themselves up, and the book spins around 3 times and stops.
So when it said that it was bound to me, not necessarily it served me or I served it. It just said bound.
Yeah, the words that it used were bound to you, and it basically said that your life, your soul would be forfeited unless you give it 1 a week. but it also seemed to promise knowledge and power.
Yeah. Okay. And also, by the words bound, my character's thinking that perhaps it's not its choice. It's also the weight. It has to be connected to maybe a person to be able to. It's kind of owned by that person as well, bound to it. Like that's how Ramelzi's thinking of it.
Why don't you roll a d20 under intelligence or wisdom, whichever's higher.
Oh, it's probably under. Yeah, it's 4, so it's under both.
You get the feeling that perhaps the person that unlocked the chains, or was just trying to unlock the chains, that's who the book is bound to. And since you were that person. Okay. Now, what the definition of bound means, there's some probably some wiggle room there, different definitions for things. You said you got 4 under?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You think that if you give it something, it will have to give you something in return. That's probably the way you interpret bound.
Yeah. Okay. Still, I guess, I'll accept that, definitely. As the character himself steps out as his thinking, he definitely doesn't want to be owned by anything. I have to serve anything from the darker side, so that's going to aggravate him a little bit in his consciousness, I'm sure. He's going to try to figure out a way to maybe find another solution. But as of now, he accepts everything, and but it don't get to him it don't bring down his character at all as of yet, since he feels like he's got time to deal with it. Shebek.
All right.
So
do you stay awake or do you head to bed after that?
Yeah, if I didn't get no sleep, I'll go ahead and head to bed.
Yeah, this probably took a little while. Took some time.
Yeah. So yeah, I do some meditative stuff and just fall asleep. Hopefully with no dreams.
We'll get to that. All right, we're gonna switch streams here and go back to Zig. Zig, you there?
Yep. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm guessing that you had probably gone to sleep earlier, or did you do something else?
No, I would have gone to sleep earlier.
Okay. So, unlike last night, where you were dreamless and had a restful night's sleep, tonight's a little bit different. In the dreams that you have, you can tell that you're restless. You wake up several times. At first, you can't remember what you were dreaming, but you felt like there was movement, violence. You vaguely remember blood dripping down your lips and down your hands, running down your arms, the warmth of sinking your hands into some body of some creature or thing. You're not sure. It's vague and it's hard to recollect. And then you eventually went back to sleep. In this dream, you do remember. There are trees and leaves smacking you in the face, scratching your face, scratching your arms. You feel the sharp pain of jaggers and thistles. You're running through them. In the background, you see the hills and the mountains of Pembroktonshire. And you look down and your arms are dark red, covered in coarse hair. There is a woman in front of you, torn and bleeding, running through these same jaggers and thistles. Every once in a while she looks back and utters a terrible, frightful scream. She's falling, dragging herself, jumping down hills, tumbling. But ever faithfully you follow, you chase. You feel your heart bump bump, bump bump, bump bump in your chest. You come across the woman finally. She can no longer flee you, and you have a feeling of exultation, of hunger that is about to be sated. You tear the woman limb from limb, holding her body in your hands. Your fingers sink into her ribcage, and you bring her torso to your mouth, tearing at the flesh and devouring it. And then you wake up in your bed. You're covered in sweat.
I'll head over to water basin. Splash some water on my face. If there's a mirror in my room, I'll look at it for a moment.
And perhaps at first you're startled. You expected to see your normal face, and you perhaps even forgot that it's been replaced with chunks of flesh that were burned away by the acid, by the dark red skin. You feel just strange and like you're back in your body, and you weren't before. You were in your body. You're in this one now. You're kind of confused, perhaps.
I'll walk over to the window or see what time of day it is. Open the shutters.
It seems like the light of the sun is filtering through lots of clouds that are in the sky. But there's some light. Early morning.
I'll rest my elbows on the window ledge and kind of peer out. Have this like vacant look on my face as I'm thinking about the dream. Thinking that perhaps this town has got the best of me. So I'll be like that for a while, probably a good 10 minutes or so, just staring out vacantly, not really catching any of the details of what's going on in the streets below, just being there without really being there. And it's after those 10 minutes, I'll remember that it's past the time of prayer, so this most likely being the first day in perhaps a few years that I forgot to pray at this particular hour. I'll frown to myself and ready myself to head downstairs to the common room where I usually meet my other companions.
All right, in the few hours before daylight, Ramalzi had rested his head on the bed and tried to get some sleep. And in the moment that you close your eyes, you hear that voice emanating from the mouth of the witch.
Ramalzi, we had you. You cannot escape from us.
In the vision, in the dream, darkness and colors swirl together in a chaotic fashion. You see the jumbling corpse of the woman pulling herself up from the floor where you left her corpse. Her head is dangling between her hands as she's holding onto her own neck. The upside-down mouth continues.
We know where you are. Soon we will catch you. We are not done yet.
And then you wake fitfully up from your dream.
Yeah, I wake up with the energy, definitely the energy from that experience, the shock, having full realization that my hunters definitely know where I'm at and probably headed straight towards me. I question myself, looking into the darker natures of magic myself, thinking that could be a beacon to my early caretakers and the wizards. But I also have the realization that it might take some of their own type of magic to fight against them. Kind of fight fire with fire in a sense. I do feel this feeling of things catching up to me, but I'm trying my best to not let it sink into my emotional body as of yet. It's still all in the mind. I just feel that I'm having a shorter time span here to deal with it. So as of right now, I take that my persona kind of switches into like I got it all under control, kind of a denial thing. As I get up and get ready for the day.
When you're getting ready and moving around your room, you'll see every once in a while that the black book with the chains just like quivers, or you'll hear the clattering of metal against metal, the links of the chain are hitting into each other, but it's very subtle. You think that most people wouldn't notice it, but you do.
I just kind of out of aggravation with another bound. The book reminds me of what happened last night, and I just yell patience to myself. Kind of frustrated, it's like somebody that you borrowed money from coming back to you the next day and going, "Where's my money, man? Pay me back." So yeah, I get a little frustrated and just hush, patience. I I look for another piece of cloth perhaps, or if I can't find one, I non-hesitantly rip up whatever fabric might be in the room, and I wrap the book up in that fabric to kind of muffle the chains, just in case it does get loud enough for others to hear. Trying my best to muffle it, and kind of talking to myself at the same time, mumbling, kind of losing my grip on what world I'm talking to here. Is it in the world that I'm living, or is it this constant demon, dark, energetic world? So I'm starting to have a little personality problem there. Probably mumbling to myself a lot.
Or do you stumble your way downstairs?
I don't stumble, but I mumble.
You mumble your way downstairs.
Yeah, probably mumble a little bit. As soon as I see if Rayhan's down there, if I see anybody, the bartender and all that, I try to, definitely gather myself, keep my composure, zip my lip.
Rayhan, as you made your way downstairs, and Mousy will be shortly down after you, you actually smell different smells coming out of the kitchen. It seems that perhaps eggs and bacon have been prepared this morning instead of stew.
Wow.
Yeah, the smell and aroma instantly makes your stomach grumble, and you find that they seem like they're ready to prepare you, some food for you as soon as you sit down.
I'll sit down and gesture with 2 fingers. I'll say double portion for me.
Right away, sir. Yeah, you've paid your silver. You're good. And they put big plates around you, big pile of eggs and bacon. And you can't help but as soon as you try to take a bite of the bacon, you get this strange flash of picking your teeth with a bone. And there was white flowers and red leaves all around you. But then as soon as it comes, it vanishes. But you're still very hungry.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and join the table, and I'll wave for a plate. But I'll probably pass on the bacon, being kind of not sure about the meat from where they get the pigs real fast and all that. And I do eat a plate, double plate full of eggs, some more cider.
Eggs and cider coming right up, sir. You'll see the woman in the back frying stuff up.
So, Rayhan, I've had some disturbing dreams once again. And that book that I had, did not show me much of our questions and places that we seek out, but more of foul magic. I'll speak more later on that when I find out more. So I see that your hunger is increased again.
Yes, it would appear so. I too had an unusual dream. I was chasing a woman down the forest. Very strange.
Hmm.
The trees were red like the ones just outside town.
That's interesting. Seems like our dreams are pulling us into the same area.
It would appear so. I have been thinking. We still have a lot that needs to be done. Do you have any particular thing that you want to accomplish today?
I'm somewhat hesitant on the things I need to discover. I feel like those things will lead us into heavy demonic situations that don't necessarily pertain to this town by itself, but more of my early captors that held me in my past. I do feel guilty about leaving the witch's body in the hut, dismembered the way it is. It is somewhat my fault that she met her end the way she did. But I'm somewhat afraid to lead my colleagues there to have to deal with, let's say, primordial evils that are not easily controlled. Perhaps my attempt to control them will unleash them even more. So, I'm at a standstill with that decision until the rest of our party wakes up or comes back from their travels. Then I'd feel more comfortable in standing ground against these demons that beckon at me.
Oh, you talk about your other associates. They left early this morning, actually.
Hmm.
They had said something about wandering around town and trying to get their mind off of things. If you ask me, they probably headed to one of the houses of pleasure.
Yes, clearing the mind does sound necessary, but I'm afraid my mind is too filled to even clear at the moment without letting some of it out by dealing with the issues. Well, Rayhan, that's my dilemma. It's either really the confront these dark capturers and these evil wizards that dealt with me in the past, or perhaps lend a hand to some of the town issues, which I'm sure they connect in some weird, strange way.
You mentioned the witch. It is true that we just left her body out there. Perhaps we should deal with that if you opt to give her a proper burial. To me, it does not really matter, but it is in the direction of those trees I dreamt about. And we know that there very likely is a troll out there still. Plus, it is the last location where you were attacked by your past, so to speak.
Yes. I feel that the witch is part of the lure to me, to my soul from my capturers from the past. But I must confront it nonetheless. And I coming from my indecisive kind of positioning in my face and body language, kind of, roughen up a little bit, kind of stick up, breathe a bunch of air in and puff up my body and look kind of determined to go ahead and confront what might happen if I try to bury the witch. I feel like I need to put a closure on her death, at least for those that beckon me won't go through her again to do it, to call me. So I say, well, let's head for the hills. I'll stop at the witch's house on the way.
I'll get up and I'll look to the tavern keeper. I'll say, have you any shovels, by chance?
Shovels? Can't say that I have.
Where would I get some?
Shovels? There's a few establishments around town you could probably go to. I really can't. I've never had to buy a shovel before. Not too much call for that as an innkeeper. But you could walk around and perhaps ask someone else. You see that he looks at you and he doesn't seem like he's looking right at your face.
I'll cock my jaw a bit, but I'll glance at Ermalzi and I'll say, let's try to find the general store.
All right. I say, I agree, and just point to the door and say, hey, let's move. And as I'm doing that, I guess I'm trying to look at the map here. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, actually. Every time you guys ask me, I'm like, oh, crap, is that on there? You have to look around for it.
Yeah, what was it called again?
There's probably like a general store, or if there's something like, a pallbearer or like an undertaker, they probably have shovels.
Yeah, I was thinking since they usually have the senator eat everybody, I wonder if they even bury people at all here. All the graves are dug up, though. I don't know. I was wondering if they even needed shovels. Well, they need shovels.
Or any farmer, really. I'm sure they have shovels.
There are plenty of farmers in town.
Yeah, let's go to a farmer.
You guys just have to pick one.
The goat's farm. Or the sheep's farm. We could go talk to them.
Yeah, let's go to the sheep farm.
Got the Narquin farm, Appleberry Orchard.
That's the one. Let's go to that one. That one seems friendly. So.
Narquin. So yeah, we'll head to Narquin's farm, which is to the east, to the west side of town, northwest. Looks like lower buildings.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out, definitely. I'm feeling a little bit more skittish, of course, so I'm definitely looking for anything that might come out the shadows, in a sense. So I'm trying to stay high alert.
All right. Eventually, you guys do make it there. You'll look around the town. It looks like there's a lot of militiamen that have been walking around, standing on corners, keeping an eye out on things. They don't really seem to respond or talk to you or anything, though.
Okay, so they don't look us up and down or anything, like having look more suspicion than normal.
No, they kind of look at you guys like you're sort of a necessary evil.
Okay. I guess as I walk by, I just say, "Has everything been good today?" To one of the guards, militiamen.
It's fine. Why do you ask? Well, I guess you should. Nothing to worry about now.
Okay, that's good. And I'll move on.
You'll sort of feel their eyes on you as you're walking away from them. You perhaps look back, and they're definitely staring at you. And as you walk down the street, you see that old woman again, who just like makes the warning gesture and kind of moves off to the side and just walks away from you guys. You'll see her talking to some of the guards, pointing in directions.
Yeah, so I guess I just think that she's, just paranoid, really, of us, and hopefully she don't make up a story on us or anything by talking to the guard. I just kind of move along, kind of look at Rayhan and shrug my shoulders, as if he's seen her do the same thing.
You'll pass the sheep farm where the sheep was banging his head against the pole. There are some other sheep out in the there are some other sheep out in the pastures and such. And eventually you'll make it to, you'll see where the Umpleberry wine was purchased. You guys have got some apple cider there. And then you'll come up to the Narquin place. And this is the spot that has the all holy symbol on the giant the barn, the one that you had that talk with earlier, the one that was very scared, and the first time you guys came to the town, he thought you were demons coming to him.
Oh no!
But you'll see him out. He's seems like he's weeding his garden. He's on his hands and knees. He's got mud on all of his elbows and on his clothes. He'll look over to you.
As I walk up, I say, and if I see him greet my eyes, I just say, "Praise be to the all. Can you help us today? We need a shovel, my good man."
The all has found his way into your heart. I am glad to hear that. You seem like you mean well here.
He led us to you today. We have a deed that requires a shovel.
Shovel I have, and shovel you will get. He looks over at Rayhan and nods.
Just give him a nod in return.
You remember that you did the most of the talking the last time with this person.
Yeah. Since you said he's gonna get the shovel, I don't want to ruin it, so I'm just nod back at him and smile.
Okay, he'll go to the one of his work sheds, and he opens the door, and you'll hear him clattering around in there. You hear a weird yell. It's
No, no, no!
and then he hastily closes the door, and he has a shovel with him, and he brings it out to you guys.
What was that sound about?
Oh, just one of the animals. It's being bad, and he hands the shovel to Ramelzi.
I kind of look at the shovel. I'd seen if it was used as a weapon of any sort, a beating utensil.
It does look like it has a dark stain on the bottom of it.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind if I go over there and take a look.
It's my property. Why would you want to? You're fine. Here's a shovel. The all bless you, and then he like kind of turns his back and starts. He goes to his garden and starts weeding again, like not looking at you guys.
I'll indicate. I don't know if we have like a badge as deputies or whatever.
You had a writ, sort of like a scroll that you kind of unroll and says that
I will unfurl the scroll, and I'll say, "No, I insist that I take a look."
There's nothing to see there. It's just the farm animal. It's sick and unruly. That's all.
I'll be the judge of that. And
he picks up like a farm implement. Looks like a weeding tool. It has like a handle and like a 4-inch spike. And he stands up.
I'll lift an eyebrow at him and take a look at the utensil in his hand.
There's nothing to see there. He takes a step back towards the shed.
Again, I insist. I'll take 2 steps forward. I'll put my hand on my sword.
And then he starts running.
Which way is he running?
He doesn't run towards the shed. He runs to his house.
I'll let him run to his house. I'll go towards the shed. I'll kind of glance back at Ramalzi in this questioning way.
Yeah, I'll stay guard at the front door. Just to let you know if he comes back with any implement.
I nod.
You'll see that he runs into his front door and slams it shut. That's all. You can't really tell what's going on there.
Probably just scared. You did a good threat.
Yes. Let's take a look at this animal. You stay guard, and I'll head towards the shed.
All right. Okay. It doesn't seem like it's locked per se, but there's like a wooden bar slid over the front of it so that it locks from outside. So if there's something that's inside, it can't get out. So you'd have to lift the bar to open the door.
Is there Is there a way to peek inside, like between the barn doors, or?
It seems like it's pretty shut, and it's kind of dark in there. So even if you could see through a crack or something,
I'll knock a few times on the door. I'll say hello.
Hey!
Anybody in there?
Hey!
All right. I lift the wood. Open the door. Take a look inside.
Do you see anything? As of yet.
Hold on, it's dark.
So you open the door and light streams in. You see a pretty disgusting display of what looks like a very small dwarf. You're not real sure. He has scars and cuts all over his arms and legs. He's chained up in a corner. He has a bucket for his his waist. He has this sort of animal feeding trough that has liquid and just ground up food in it. And he has his mouth is sort of gagged with a rope, but you see that the rope is stained with food, so he apparently can get food past the rope to eat. And he kind of rattles some of the chains that are on his arms and looks at you pleadingly.
I'll take out my knife and remove whatever's covering his face or his mouth. Cut it free.
Hey! Hey! Get me out of here! That old man's crazy!
Are you a dwarf of some sort?
Dwarf? No. Hell no.
Huh. I glance at the chains. Why is he keeping you here?
His kids think I'm some sort of pet. I don't know why.
Where are the keys to this? Inside? Does he have them on him? Or are they hanging
I
here?
think they're around his neck.
Alright. I will be
You
right
think
back.
I'm a dwarf? Why do you think that? I mean,
I've met some
ever saw a
dwarves.
gnome before?
A gnome? I'll kneel down again. I have heard of gnomes. You give treasure after rainbows. Is this true?
What? All you people in this town are nuts.
I am not from this town, but I will let you go. Let me find the keys first. And I step outside, and I'll walk towards Ramalzi. There is a little man trapped inside, and I'll gesture back. He claims that he is a gnome. He has quite the funny build. Unfortunately, he has not been treated well. I need to get the keys from around this man's neck.
Get me out of here!
I'll knock on the door to the house.
You don't hear anyone answer the door.
I'll try the knob to get in.
It seems like it's locked.
Oh, is there a window from the first?
Yeah, there's a couple windows to the left and to the right.
Alright,
Have curtains in front of them.
I'll try to shimmy a window if it's not closed. If it's locked, I'll try to shimmy through one. Basically break it with my crowbar. Does that require some sort of roll or tinkering? Maybe no.
Probably roll under strength.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. See what Tim got planned up.
Crowbar attack. Use crowbar on door. Or use crowbar on window.
You there, Tim?
I think he's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to myself. I was muted. Sorry about that. Okay. So do you want to use the crowbar in the window or the door?
I'll use it on the window because I imagine if you don't surprise me with something on the other side, you'd be behind the door.
Alright, why don't you give me tinkering with 2 extra pips? Like a +2.
Alright, so just don't roll 6.
I'll go ahead and stand next to
I
the
rolled a
door.
5, so I succeed.
As he does that, I'll stand next to the door to make sure nobody tries to run out and get behind him on the window.
Okay, so you crack open the window, and are you trying to get inside?
I just want to open it, so yeah, I'll get inside.
Okay, so you crawl in, and you probably move, or you're between the curtain and the room, and you can see that there's looks like a couple children that are about ready to hurl something at you.
Oh shit! I dive.
You'll hear the window shatter behind you as a large pot and a big iron skillet go flying through the window where your head was recently.
Like, what's going on in there? Open the door.
Rayhan, you'll look up and you'll see 2 kids. It seems like these kids were stationed in front of this window, and they have a pile of pots and things to hurl at you.
I'll look at the kids and I'll start to like, children, go to your rooms right now.
They each they look at you, they look scared, and then they pick up another thing and hurl it at you.
Alright, I'll approach them in the fashion of the Terminator, very resilient, resolved, non-emotional look on my face as I move towards them.
Alright, so you're not trying to dodge out of the way or anything like that?
No, I'll just be like, I'll move my hand to get the pot out. Like, if it's throwing pots at me, I'm just gonna like brush it aside.
Right.
As they're throwing it.
Your armor class is like 18, if I remember right.
16.
16? Oh, okay. Alright, so in your walking forward Terminator style, one glass pot for another plant hurls against the wall and shatters, and sort of a cooking pot, like something you would boil soup in. Looks like it cracks you right in the chest.
Okay.
Doesn't really do much damage at all, though. It's like 2.
Okay.
But like, maybe the handles, hits you pretty roughly. But they seem pretty resolute. They don't feel like they're gonna run away yet. But you get up.
Are they backing up?
No, they look like they're gonna keep grabbing stuff and throwing it at you.
All right. I'll if I feel like I'm close enough, I'll rush them.
Okay, yeah, you're right there. So.
All right. I'm gonna grab them both by the arms.
Okay.
How tall are these kids?
No! Don't take our pet.
I'll give both the kids a shake, like a very firm shake, and pull them away from the pots and pans.
His blood makes us strong. Please don't take him.
Listen, enough with this crazy talk. You stay in these corners, you stay in the corner, both of you. I'll gesture towards the corner.
Don't kill us, mister.
Where is your father?
He's upstairs.
What would he have upstairs?
Don't kill him.
I will not kill your father. But what does he have upstairs?
Oh, Mom's up there. She doesn't talk anymore, though.
Well, listen to me. If I come back downstairs and you are not pressed against this corner, I'll touch my sword.
We won't go. Just stay here. You won't hurt us. You promise?
I promise to you.
You swear by the all you won't kill us?
Yes, by that and everything else.
So don't hurt Daddy. Don't hurt Daddy.
I'll walk away from them, start like brushing, like kicking aside pots and pans. I'll head to the front door and I'll open it to let Ramalzi in.
What? That sound like a ruckus. I look around and notice the kids.
They've been throwing pots and pans at me.
Oh, okay.
Their father is upstairs. They said something peculiar. Maybe you can get more information out of them as I investigate upstairs. They said something about, and I'll lean forward a bit, the gnome's blood making them strong.
You'll hear a sound from the stairs. Sounds like lots of little things hitting wood. Stuff falling down the stairs.
I'll glance towards the stairs, and still without my weapons drawn, I'll head in that direction.
you'll see a bunch of marbles all over the stairs.
I laugh a bit. And I very carefully make my way upstairs.
Ramelzi, are you following after him?
Yeah, I'm kind of. I'll look at the kids first, and I'll say, "What do you know about this? The blood? You say blood makes you stronger. I've never heard of this before. I drink cider. Apple cider does the body good."
Yeah, Daddy puts the pet's blood in our eggs and oatmeal. It says it makes us strong. Gives us powers.
What type of powers? Do you have powers?
No. Well, no. But Daddy says maybe when we get older we will. You're not going to hurt Daddy. You got to promise, too. You swear by the all you know kill Daddy.
I definitely will not kill your dad. Not here for that. We're just here for an item that should cause no harm. We just need it. And I would recommend for you to stop drinking blood. I don't think it's going to be working as your daddy says it is. And I don't really know what type of blood you actually been drinking. But to stay here, and thanks for letting me know. I kind of almost try to smile at him, but it's kind of hard. Feeling grossed out and all that. And just another craziness of this town. But and then I look back up to the stairs and yeah, I want to start following Rayhan just in case something bigger than expected breaks out.
All right, as you guys are going up the stairs, I'll need you to roll under dex. Pretend like your dex is like 2 less.
Okay.
All right, I succeeded. I got a 3.
Okay. 5. Cool.
That sounds good. Okay, so yeah, you both deftly avoid all the marbles that are all over the stairs, and you see that there's a sort of a hefty girl at the top. With it's like 10 or 12, and she has a crossbow in her hands, and she's pointing down. You probably, as each step you take, you see the top of her head, you see her face, and then you see the crossbow bolt pointing down.
I stopped in my tracks.
You're not gonna kill Dad.
Of course not.
Dad said to kill you. You come up the stairs. This is our house.
I will not kill your father. I just want to talk to him. Put that crossbow down.
She winds it a little bit tighter, but it seems like she can't wind it anymore.
Hey. Point that away from me.
You stay away. Mommy's spirit watches us. She'll do bad things to you. You come in our house.
Your brother is downstairs. They really want you to put the crossbow down. They're very scared.
I'll put it down when you go back outside. That's where strangers belong, outside the house. No one's allowed in the house. Daddy's rules.
I'll squint an eye at her. And I'll say, there's a little man trapped inside your shed. And inside your barn.
She looks kind of nervous when you say that. No, there isn't.
Yes, I saw him.
He's just an animal anyway. We're just harvesting him. Dad says it's like plucking chickens or something.
I'll frown at her and I'll say, that little man is a gnome.
He's just the pet.
He's a magical creature.
Daddy says it makes us strong.
Can I talk to your daddy? Can you bring him here?
This is when she shoots the crossbow, but it misses horribly and sticks maybe 6 feet beside your head and sticks into the wall of the stairwell there.
And
then she starts trying to load it real quick, but
I'll menacingly walk up the stairs slowly.
You stay back. You can tell she's real weak. It's gonna take her a long time to load the crossbow.
Give that to me, and I'll reach out for her.
And she like throws it at you, but it's real easy to catch.
Yeah, I'll catch it.
She tries to like run down the hallway, but if you want to catch her, it's not that hard.
And I'll let her run.
I'm gonna not let her leave the front door though. Well, yeah,
On the second floor right now, right?
Yeah, you're on the second
Yeah.
floor, so there's stairs. There's like I should have described it better. I'm kind of bad at descriptions. So.
Yeah. I was.
So
There's a hallway at the top of the stairs that goes left and right. It seems like there's some doors down both sides of the hallway, and she's running towards one of the doors. You're guessing it
Okay.
might be her bedroom, but it's hard to tell.
I'll let her run, and I'll look the closest door to me and open it.
Okay, well she does run into the room then. Well, Jeremiah, you said you don't want her to leave, so what do you want to try to do?
Well, I didn't want her. Like I figured I was just coming up the stairs. Like I'm barely up the stairs. Like I'm probably walking on the top now.
Yeah, you're
when
pretty
that
much
was
right
going
there.
on.
So.
And so I wasn't just. If she was going to run by me downstairs, I was going to block her because I didn't want her to escape to do anything that I suspected. If anything, I was just going to suggest to her to watch over her siblings here, I believe. But yeah.
So you'll let her.
If she wants to run to a room, she can.
Okay, she runs to her room, and then you hear like a wood bar getting placed on the inside of it.
Okay.
And so Rayhan, you go to the closest door, you open it. It looks like another kid's room. There's some carved wooden toys. There's a hoop. So there's simple toys like that.
Okay. I'll go to the room right. Actually, if there's like a wardrobe or a closet, I'll open them up.
Okay, inside the closet you see what looks like a cage.
Interesting. Take a look at this.
And I walk into the room and I look at the cage and I'm just trying to see. I guess there's nobody in it, of course.
You'll see some toys inside the cage.
Okay. Toys.
I'll squint an eye and I'll say, actually I don't say anything. I'll just kind of leave the room, kind of wait in the hallway before I check the next one.
Next room is the same thing. It seems like there's quite a number of these rooms. It's a child's room, and if you look around, you'll
Cage
see
in the closet?
there's a cage in the closet.
Same thing, toys.
Yeah, there's some different toys. These look like maybe boys' toys are in here.
I'll kind of say out loud, "Where are you?" as I leave the room.
I hear nothing.
We just want to talk to you, and I'll kick open the next door.
All right, you try to kick the next door open. Well, actually, why don't you roll open door? I think is it open door? It's
Oh no, I don't think I have that one. I think it's a special.
open doors is one of the skills actually.
Yeah, I don't think that's a specialist one, but I will roll. I'll get over one.
Yeah, you get you have a 1 in 1d6 chance, and if you have any strength modifiers, you add it to that.
Okay, I don't have any strength modifiers. I rolled a 3, so I did not succeed.
So you kick into the door. It doesn't give way at all. Stay back! Get out of my house!
I've got your kids downstairs. Why don't you step outside?
What are you gonna do with my kids?
I don't know. Give me some ideas. Come outside.
Yeah.
Don't make things difficult.
You hear the board that's blocking the door. You hear it move, and then come in if you want.
Does the door open inwardly or outwardly?
It opens inward.
Alright, I'll turn the knob and push it open, but I won't step inside just yet. I want to survey the area.
As soon as you open the door, you both have a pretty good vantage point. You see that it at one point was probably just a normal bedroom, but now it seems like there's a couple beds that are in there, 2 beds. On one of the beds, looks like it's just for sleeping, but there's only 1 pillow and 1 blanket. On the bed beside him is this desiccated-looking corpse of a woman who has all these tubes shoved into her arms, into her legs. One goes into her mouth, several into her nostrils. There's even some that go in through her eyes and her ears. And all of the tubes sort of wind around the body and go up to a wooden contraption, a pole that has legs on it, set up sort of like a lamppost, like a tall lamp you would have in your house. But in the very top of it, above all these tubes that come to this point, there's a sort of like a funnel, a vat that's stained red. And he's sitting in the corner holding another crossbow. He doesn't really say anything, he just looks at you.
I'll grin at him a little bit. This is quite the thing you have set up here. Is she alive? I'll gesture to the body.
Not yet.
Ah.
Just need more of the pet's blood. It'll make her strong.
Why don't you put the crossbow down?
He points it at his own neck.
I'll grin a little bit. I'll take a step inside the room. Listen.
Don't come any closer.
Why are you being so difficult? I just want the key. The one around your neck.
You only want the key.
Yes, of course. You can do whatever you want in your house.
You're gonna let him go, aren't you?
Of course I will.
I'm not done yet. She's almost ready.
How much longer will you need?
Just need a few more drops. A few more
All right.
cans, maybe?
We can give you a few more drops. Nothing major. Just a few.
He looks over. You look over at the woman. She doesn't look alive at all.
Yeah. I'm just like.
She looks like a raisin, like a gray and white raisin.
I'm just toying with the guy. I got high charisma, so I'm not being honest with him at all.
You'll give me a few more drops then.
Of course.
And then you'll leave. You won't harm my children.
Why would I harm your children? They are children. This is not my way. I only harm those that...
I step in to also say, we really just have to ask the gnome some questions. It is our duty. He will not speak if he's enchained. Once we speak with him, then you can have him back. And I'm trying to bluff him.
He looks over at the woman. It's almost time. You just have to wait a few moments. No, they're not going to harm the kids. They promised. What do you mean I shouldn't believe them? He looks at her. If you promise, I'll give you the key.
All right, I promise. You can come with us yourself if you want.
No, I think I want to stay here. And he kind of lowers the crossbow down from his neck. He takes off a rough-hewn leather necklace and it has the key on it. He tosses it over to Rayhan.
Alright, I'll catch it. And I'll toss it back to Ramalzi, or just hand it back to Ramalzi.
I'll catch it, and I lead the way downstairs, I guess. But
I guess I should have also described there's just a very strong stench of death in this room and rotting human flesh. So
I'll take a few steps back. Like, I'm not gonna turn my back to the guy. I'll just back out in reverse, and I'll grab the door handle and close it behind us.
I don't think he'll try any funny business since we have the key, and unless he gave us the wrong key. But there's one thing I would like to check before we go free the gnome or investigate the gnome at least. And so I touch my bag, and as I go down the stairs, in the middle of the stairs, I pull my sword out, but I put it to the side, make it look without a threat. I'm trying to carry it to make it look and not hold it up as a threat. As I walk by the children out to the door, I'm just checking out the glow situation.
You're checking out the what situation?
The situation with the sword, if it glows or not.
Oh, no, it doesn't glow.
Okay. And I say...
you feel elevated and
yeah.
inspired.
Okay, I say to the children, your father is safe. We will be right back. Make sure that he does not panic. Let him know that we are fair people and do not want to hurt you or your family. And look at Rayhan to see if he's ready to do this.
Yeah, I'm already headed to the door, so
Okay.
let's
I'll
do
put my sword up as well.
So head towards the barn. As I move towards the barn, see to this gnome. I'll smile at him as we move into the room. Look what we have. I'll gesture back to Ramalzi.
I hold up the key.
Oh, thank you. These sickos have been bleeding me for a long time.
What is this that they believe they get strength and power and perhaps animate the undead with your blood? Is this true? Does your kind have magical properties in your blood, or is this a madman?
We have some, I guess. But, these people are crazy.
So, is there any questions you would like to ask him, Rayhan?
How did they catch you? You look so small, so nimble.
I came into town. I was gonna sell some things. They just ambushed me, all the little bastards. Father told them to get me.
Well, let's release our friend here. I don't think he is, I don't think he's a suspicious fellow at all.
Yeah. I'm just curious. But, I'll go ahead and I'll lean down and look for the lock. However he's bound with the lock and unlock him and free him.
Yeah, it's easy to unlock them. Ugh. Really, thank you. I've been here for at least 2 years.
That's horrible. Where are you from? You far away from your original home?
Several weeks of travel. There's a small hill off to the south where I'm from.
Well, before we continue, my name is Rayhan. This is my good friend Ramalzi. What is your name?
Zigno.
Zigno. I smile at him. A very fine name.
It's a family name. I've had it for a long time. Honestly, Zigno Jr. Actually.
Well, you are free. Enjoy your life, my friend. Maybe don't step back into the town. Avoid the hills. There might be a troll there, and the trees are turning red.
This place is surrounded by hills, is it not? It took me a long time to find my way here.
Do you have any rumors? Why did you come to this particular place?
I heard that there were some wealthy patrons here that would pay for finely crafted toys and goods that I sell.
Did they keep you in a cage inside the house? I'll gesture towards where the house is.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, they would play with me and have me make toys for them.
Huh. Is it just toys that you can make?
It's really my skill, yes. I can carve things, I guess.
I nod slowly to him.
But, I will be headed home. I will tell my people of your kindness to me.
Maybe we'll see you there one day soon. Spread the good word of us.
I will. But, my prayers will forever head upwards for your goodwill and for your safety.
Yes, of course. I'll glance at him now that he's all unchained and whatnot, and I'll say, enjoy your life, little one.
He nods and he starts walking away. And actually, I think I'm gonna take Wes up for a nap. He's falling asleep.
Okay.
So I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
I'll take this as a bathroom break.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, I'm back. I don't have to worry about the mute button anymore. And I guess we have some air silence. Well,
I'm back.
oh, okay.
And we took the moment of you leaving to use the bathroom and
Oh,
whatnot.
yeah, that's good.
I refilled my drink. My A&W root beer.
Oh man, that sounds good.
Delicious, nice and cold. No ice in that.
Yeah, I don't see Carl online, so maybe he'll be by later, or maybe he just won't be able to come today.
Yeah, it's all good though. It's all good.
So yeah, you got. What'd you think of your troll vision?
Oh, wow, my troll vision? It's awesome.
I'm back.
Can't wait to chase people down in the woods.
All right, so the gnome has walked off. You guys are there, and you have a shovel.
Yeah, I'd say let's not even bring the key back, my friend. Let's just press on with the more important matters. Not sure what we could do for the old man's insanity. Should we at least let him know we broke our promise, or should we just leave it alone?
I'll just nod to you. I'll say, yes, let's just take the key and head towards the witch. We have what we came for.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Let's go.
All right, it isn't much farther to get to the witch's house. You have to walk probably outside of town, or outside, I guess, would be quicker to get there. But yeah, you find the porch and all the dried herbs that are hanging on the porch there. The door is slightly open, but it might have blown open by the wind. You're not sure.
Okay, I'll go ahead and lead the way into the door very carefully, trying my best to have memory of how everything was placed when we were here before, just to try to feel any or notice any changes that might have happened since we've been gone.
It seems like her body is in the same location, just sort of slumped on the ground. Her torn flesh on her chest is still there. The head was just, unceremoniously just thrown on the floor after Bo ripped it off.
Okay,
There's a stench in the air, but it's sort of mitigated somewhat by all the smell of herbs that are in the place.
what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn to Rayhan. He's probably standing in the doorway, the way I'm picturing it. I don't know if he had the shovel, but if I had it, I'll pass him the shovel and say I'm going to use the perhaps one of these blankets or some kind of material if I find it in the room to put most of the body parts in. That's obtainable or that they can actually be picked up. So I'm going to do the I guess the deed of picking up all the parts and wrapping them up into a blanket.
Okay, so you're going to have the blanket sort of over your hands and then touch the blanket to her and, kind of try to...
Yeah, I guess I'm just going to use my hands to pick up the parts. Not feeling like it can do any harm. I just feel like it's my responsibility.
Okay.
Her head especially, arms and legs. If whatever's just like gut and splatter, I can't really handle that. So
all right.
I just leave that.
So Rayhan is at the door still with the shovel. Is that correct? What do you think, Sig?
I'll as soon as I get the shovel, I'll just do a quick survey of what's going on in the room, and I'll step outside, go around the back of the place, and start digging a hole.
Okay.
I do say a small prayer to the blending of some of my beliefs and Rayhan's son belief, and just try to tell the witch's spirit or soul that I am trying to bring you at rest and put your body into the earth for recycled use. It's the best I can do for now, and I'm not really trying to repent or get any remorse for anything. I just trying to ease me handling the flesh, I guess.
Okay, so you start grabbing the torn flesh that's in piles on the ground and putting into the bag, and then you get to the bigger chunks, and as soon as you touch probably her leg or her arm, the head that's on the ground, its eyes slowly flutter and open, the mouth opens and the tongue sort of flops out the side of it.
Lazy.
I hear you. Can you not use a better body to hunt me with?
The arms and the legs start to quiver and shake, start to flop around and reach out to try to grab things, and seems like it's trying to right itself. And you notice that there's movement in the flesh of her stomach.
So that they're trying to they're trying to reform.
Yeah, trying to take back the body. Perhaps, you're not sure. But the eyes are looking at you. Little tendrils start to come out of the neck, like little red, almost like fleshy wires, and they'll start to pull the head closer to the body.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Zig's outside digging a hole.
Yeah, I got to figure out what exact spirit or what's actually talking to me. But go ahead.
But the movement in the stomach seems to keep happening. The body stands up, and you hear this tearing sound as the flesh starts to move, starts to form. The headless corpse with the exposed, flayed skin on her chest is starting to lurch and move towards you.
I'm definitely disgusted and more so than even handling the body parts. It's repulsive, mixed emotions, kind of definitely scared. And I say, what is it that you want? Just speak. And I do step back a good distance. At least I try to keep a little bit more than 5 feet between me and the undead form here.
Return! Return to us, we're not finished. You will be our vessel and we will indwell you. You are ours. Ours to possess.
And as it's walking, the lower stomach and the vagina of the witch tears open, and out falls this baby.
No.
Looks normal. It kind of falls onto the floor, and the umbilical cord is sort of dragging behind the lurching corpse.
Ooh.
And it's dragging the baby slowly over the rough wooden floor.
So Nelson's messed up mind automatically assumes that that's Temper's child that was restored, the process restored and sped up its birth from the power of the dark wizards to animate this body.
Okay, so outside you're taking a Holzig, and you swear you hear baby crying.
I stick the shovel into the ground, look towards the hut where the sound is coming from, no doubt, and I'll rush over.
So you'll get to the door and you'll see this lurching, headless, flayed corpse moving towards Ramalzi, and there's this baby being dragged by its umbilical cord across the floor. It's screaming, crying, its little hands are reaching up into the air trying to grab onto something.
I'm screaming, there'll be no burial today.
What has happened? I'll rush in with my sword drawn now.
Okay, you're gonna head towards or try to attack the corpse?
Yeah, I'm attacking the corpse.
Okay, make a save versus spell, and you're gonna roll a d20 and you want to roll that number over.
Okay.
Spells are magic.
Ooh, I failed.
Okay, so you get about 5 feet away, and then you're hurled violently against a wall.
Ah!
Ramelzi, it's stepping closer towards you. Go ahead and make the same save. Save versus spell.
Okay, that's what was the mechanic on that
It's
again?
D20. You want to roll that
Okay.
or over.
Okay, I got you. Spell. Nope.
Okay, so you are hurled backwards against the wall, and you probably smash into some dried herbs, knock over a bookshelf, they clatter to the ground.
Okay.
You will come with us now.
And the fingers sort of reach out, and I'll have you guys roll a initiative, I guess. That's probably good.
Okay.
D6.
Roll it, man, roll it.
That's a 2.
Oh.
Ooh, I rolled a 5. Okay. Alright, so the corpse is moving forward. The baby is still being dragged by the umbilical cord. It moves over to Ramalzi, too many R's, grabs you by the leg and starts pulling you under it. So there's drops of blood and visceral, just goo just dripping out of the bottom of the woman, and she's dragging you underneath her legs. So she's standing over top of you and just pulling you underneath her. And you get a strange sensation, and you look down, and some of the blood is starting to move up your leg, starting to sink into your clothes. It's sort of moving and writhing like snakes, if that is even a way to describe it, but it seems like the blood is trying to get into your mouth, and it's moving you forward. So, so it's basically it's standing over top of you, and then it's both of your turns again.
The first thing I would want to do is that pull out my dagger, and I want to actually try to cut the umbilical cord, slice it. I'm sure it's right there next to me because it's we're both kind of being hung in the same area.
It's literally right above you. It's hanging out of the bottom of the corpse, right out of the orifice there. So you reach up and you just cut it real quick. Okay. Is there anything else you want to do? Like you can cut it and do something else. Something.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So you cut the umbilical cord without a problem. But there's probably blood
Yeah, I'm trying
coming
to
out of it,
how to get out of here.
out of the bottom of it. It's like spraying like a.
I guess I don't know if it's possible to even pull out an object to use being hung upside down. It might even fell out already. I could pull out my wand and go ahead and give it a discharge into the monster or the undead, but
I'll let you do that. Sure.
it might get me as well, but I wouldn't really know what else to do.
You seem like it seems like it seems like if this blood gets into you, that's a bad thing. That's
So
general.
it's a life or death situation here.
You do know that the woman's possessed. There might be thoughts that maybe your body would be possessed by these dark wizards if that happens. You're not sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna whip out my wand, and I'm just kind of being slung around, and my eyes are like super wide, and I'm seeing this blood kind of like a hand, fingers of it. Looks like fingers in a way, kind of try to get into my mouth. It's reaching up. I'm leaning
probably up to like your chest and your arms now.
So I whip out my wand and I'm kind of just do this little wave pattern with it and try to focus my energy and mind as much as possible into casting lightning bolt on this undead.
All right, and while this is happening, what are you doing, Zig?
As he got flung?
It's both your turns. So
Yeah,
he's pulling his wand out. You see blood crawling up his torso and his legs. You see a baby that's just been cut free. It has probably like a 4 or 5 foot long umbilical cord is still attached to it.
I don't think it wants to throw me. It's definitely trying to. If Rayhan can notice that at all with his eyes.
So yeah, what do you do, Zig?
I'm going to take out a hand axe, the ones that we got from the dwarves.
Okay.
And I'll quickly survey the scene. Does it look like the body is animated, or does it look just like the child, the baby, is dragging the body with the umbilical cord behind him?
No, it's the corpse of the witch that is dragging the baby behind it.
Okay, perfect.
But now that the umbilical cord is not attached anymore, the baby has stopped being dragged.
Alright, I'm gonna throw the hand axe at the witch's corpse.
Okay. Why don't you give me an attack roll, and you can add your base attack and your dex.
Okay.
It's a melee attack or missile attack.
I probably failed. I rolled a 9 plus range plus 2, so that's 11.
Well, it's not really. It's just standing there, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it sinks in. Did I tell you how much damage that does?
I would imagine it would be like a D6, bro.
Yeah, probably a D6.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so the axe sinks into the shoulder blades of the woman. Don't really hear a scream or anything. It's almost like a butcher's knife sinking into a steak. There's no scream, no response. And then the lightning bolt fires out from the upturned wand in Ramelzi's hands. So why don't you go ahead and roll for that?
Okay, is that an attack as well?
No, it's just straight up
damage?
just happens. Yeah.
Okay, it says 1d6, then / level. So I'm thinking that's not 3d6, is it?
What is your level right now?
Level 3.
Then yeah, it's 3d6.
Oh wow. Okay, I thought maybe that meant +1 per level, but it didn't say it like that in the rules. All right, cool.
At least that's how I have it set up. So.
Yeah. Okay, save is, I guess, I'm not sure if you would, there's half damage in case.
Yeah, I'll have to roll for that. And I rolled a 1, so no.
6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Wow. Okay, I'm hitting as a wizard finally.
I think I have a table for that. But okay, so you reach up, you fire right into the lower half of the woman. You smell burning flesh. It flies off of you and clatters into like the edge of the bed, maybe one of the bedposts. You hear a sort of noise as you think some bones are probably broken. There's a horrible like singe pattern of like lightning bolt, like lightning electric on the side of her. And it seems like the body It isn't moving at the moment. It's sort of slumped where it landed.
So I'm just trying
right.
to pick.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just to say in that moment, that split second moment, I'm just trying to notice if I sense or feel the wizard's presence still.
You notice that the blood that was crawling up you has now just run off the side of you as if it's just a normal liquid responding to gravity.
Yeah, so I immediately look back at Terehan, see if he's all right, and run out the door as I hear this baby cry and point to the baby, like, look at here. What do you think of this?
Somewhat startled.
I'm definitely trying to look at it to see if it has what its qualities is. If it looks half demon, if it looks half undead, or if it looks like Temper at all.
You're looking at it, and yeah, you think you see. I think it has Temper's nose, maybe Temper's eyes. Some of the other features, seem probably more like the mother, and it seems like it's a female. It's a girl.
What do we do with this?
You should bring it to the church. Leave it with the priests. That is what people do with unwanted children.
Yes, in this town that worries me.
You'll see tears running down the baby's eyes, out of the baby's eyes. It's sort of moving around. It's got up onto its hands and knees, and it's crawling.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I tilt my head at it as it's crawling. Is it actually like moving? Like
it's moving badly, but yeah, it is moving. It's probably moving like an inch or two every minute. It seems like it's having a hard time with things.
Does it seem? See if I don't think babies can crawl for a while, so I'm kind of looking at it oddly as I kind of lower myself down a bit, not to get close to the child, but just to make it obvious, like I'm studying it.
It seems like it's trying to move towards the corpse, the witch's corpse.
I definitely know that the process was speeded up, and perhaps the baby was healed when the wizards used their powers to animate the witch, which had restorative properties to the flesh that was there, and perhaps unbroken. So this baby's definitely not going.
Mama.
Pull out the sword. Let's see if it glows.
Yeah, being reminded of that, trying to keep up with all the craziness that's going on, I immediately grab my sword, take a deep breath, prepare myself.
The blade does not light up.
Okay.
Mama.
I do say, Rehan, the witch's body is perhaps more whole than it was before. Be easy to bury. And I'll go ahead and pick up the baby, or at least try to get close to it to see if it wants to attack me or anything. I don't know.
If you reach your hand down, it'll put its little hand up. It'll grab one of your fingers.
Okay. Well, Mama. I'll go ahead and pick him up.
It's pretty light. You think it's probably about 6 pounds or so.
Probably just lift him up by the arm or something. Kind of throw him in my other arm, or not throw, but kind of plop him in the other arm, a little infant baby style, if it's still that big.
If you're doing that, it'll start to nuzzle at your chest.
Okay, well, I try to turn its head And just,
It starts
but
to
I'm
cry
gonna
more when
carry
you do that.
it in. I'm gonna, I guess, carry it into the witch's hut, and I guess the head was still dismembered from the body, though, eh? From the witch.
Yeah. But it's not talking anymore, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. What am I doing? I'm confused.
Mom, it's really trying to nuzzle your chest.
Um,
Like if you turn it around, it's like fighting to turn its head around. It looks like it's trying to breastfeed, perhaps.
I'm just not knowing what to do. I'm just gonna say that's your mama. If she's dead. I don't really have much experience and compassion in this situation, so.
I'll be lifting the corpse to bring to the hole I dug.
Okay. So as you're doing it, parts of it just start to fall off. The skin tears, has a putrid smell to it. Flies and maggots come out of her guts, follow around like a swarm.
Well, obviously it's not going to work then.
But I mean, you get a good half of it out, and there's just sort of like a trail of body parts and just hunks of flesh that have fallen off the bones. But eventually, you get the first big chunk of her in the hole.
As I do that, I'll go for the rest. I just want to get as much of her as I can in there. If I'll use the shovel to scoop her up if she's in pieces.
Yeah, it takes some time, but do you think you get all of the remaining chunks of flesh? And I mean, there's stains on the floor, blood stains, other bodily fluids just all over the place. But yeah, all the you think you get most of the stuff, if not all of the stuff, into the hole.
Perfect. So I'll throw some dirt over top of it, close up the hole.
After Rayhan's done with that, I just mentioned perhaps that was more necessary than we originally thought to keep that dark wizards from reanimating her corpse. Hopefully, it's at a rest now. And you said the priest, perhaps the temple. We could drop this young baby off there, because I'm really like uncomfortable with it. I'm just like, oh Lord. I'm even considering casting sleep on it just to. So yeah, I guess I'll make my way. I would suggest that we go to the temple.
Dada. And then it actually, if you start to walk and you're swaying it back and forth, it falls asleep in your arms.
Okay.
The little hands will reach up every once in a while, and then just stop moving. It'll squirm a little bit here and there, but it seems like it's asleep.
Definitely have something to tell our friend Temper when he gets back from his pleasures.
Do we even want to tell him?
I don't know. I really don't know. Does he look like the kind that would want to raise this child? You might know that more than I.
I'm not entirely sure.
But I do suggest we get rid of him as soon as possible here to this temple.
I nod. I'll glance towards. As we're outside, I'll look towards the trees. How much of an encroachment have they done since last time we were here?
If you look up to the mountains, before it was mostly red with some white, from the blossoms, and you notice that there's no white color at all. It's just all red as far as the eye can see. So something has happened. Either the blossoms have finished blooming or something else.
How far are the trees from us? Just so that I can, if I were to go there to take a look.
It seems like most of the trees are in the actual hills themselves and the mountains, so it's a little bit of a trek to get there. There's like fields and grasses, between the town and the hills.
this we have this baby in our hands, so I don't want to take a detour.
Yeah, I do. I recognize what Rayhan is his glance to the hills and our next step, and I say, we'll make this quick. I need free hands in case we run into other things. So yeah, I make haste to the temple.
Same.
All right, so you guys will walk through the town, go to the main temple in the center. Let's see here. You guys say anything before you enter in?
The doors are open.
It seems like the main doors are open. You'll see the various seats and the main aisleway that leads up to the altar of the all.
Perfect. To make sure we're not dragging mud or anything like that, since I just dug up a hole, I'll kick my shoes against the side of this temple, just like.
Maybe like scrape your boots off on like one of the steps, something like that.
Yeah. And I'll step on in.
I do the same, and I kind of just do a little bow. I mumble, I kind of just pronounce the word all, but you can't really hear what's around that. All.
And you remember that the last time that they had a service, they didn't let you in because you were outsiders.
Yeah.
But you head in, there's a strong smell of incense in the air. There's various colored glass windows that are letting the light sparkle in different colors. It's very ornately crafted. There seems like there's copper and brass, even some silver and gold in places, though sparingly. The altar before you, down the aisle, like I said, there's lots of seats. The altar seems to be in the center of the temple, and the wooden chairs sort of wrap around it in a circular fashion, rows and rows of circles, chairs. The altar itself is pretty plain. Seems like it's just roughly hewn stone, but it looks very heavy. Looks like it was probably dragged here from the mountains. In the center of the altar, on the flat surface, is that symbol of the all that you had seen previously in other places. There are some candles lit in various alcoves and places, and there seems like there's various statues around the sanctuary here of different human figures. You're not really sure what they are, but just different faces. There's a man, a woman, different women, different men, lots of different people that they have sculptures of them around the room. But other than that, it seems like it's pretty vacant. You don't see any people. There are some doors headed back to other places in the temple.
I did try to recall my memory of perhaps walking back and forth throughout the, week, month that we've been here or more, and try to use my memory to recall when services were happening, and whether one is soon to be had.
You think the last one was a couple days ago, and they seem to have service once a week.
Okay.
So you think that they're probably not going to have a service for a while.
Yeah, so I couldn't. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, Ramelzi was thinking to himself that he could just set the baby down. If there was a service in a couple of hours, somebody would find him. But so I look at Rayhan and I say, should we follow deeper until we find somebody, or should we just set this baby here?
Do we set this baby up on the altar? It should suffice.
Okay. I am not going to think hard on this one. Perhaps somebody will find it and think it be... I don't know what we're going to create here. We might create a human god. This strange baby sitting on the altar when somebody walks in of the church. Yeah, why not?
Are you going to put anything soft down, or are you just going to lay it straight on the altar?
I'll go ahead and, if there's anything soft and perhaps some cloth that was on one of the seats to rest an old person's back, or...
There looks like there's some clerical clothing that's draped on the back of one of the chairs. So it looks like maybe they sing hymns. It's resting on one of the back of those chairs.
Yeah,
Almost
I'll
the priest.
I'll grab that as because he's got the baby, so I'll grab that and set it up for him on the altar.
Yeah, they're like clerical vestments, I guess is a good way to describe it.
I guess I'm trying to pay attention to can it even hold a baby that wiggles around? Will it just fall to its death?
It's just a big stone altar about 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
So
Okay, 4 feet. That's not too bad. I'm just thinking like a big preacher's altar or something on a big stage or something. I don't know. A 10, 20 foot tumble there.
So you kind of pile up the vestments and lay the baby down.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're really gentle, as long as you don't just chuck it on there, it stays sleeping.
Yeah. I try to be as gentle as possible. Definitely respecting the baby, the delicacy of it, and I just make way. Say it is done, and let's move on.
You think you hear some movement or something in one of the back rooms?
Perhaps we should speed away quickly. I hear
I nod.
noise coming. I do not want to explain myself this day. So I not necessarily run, but I kind of pace it pretty fast out the temple door.
Okay. You guys head out the door, out into the streets of the lovely Pembrooktonshire. Sunlight in the morning. There are some clouds in the air, but there's a pleasant scent. It smells like flowers, perhaps, or I'm not sure. But no one sees you. No one stopped you.
Excellent. So, now that is out of the way, shall we head towards the tree line? See what is happening over there.
Yes, I feel like it is real important. If this air is bad, it could destroy every plan that we have. So I believe that's where we should head to now, with urgency.
Yes. As we're headed in that direction, I'll say, after some moment of quiet, I'll say, I have thought about it. Perhaps we should keep this news of this baby, this child, to ourselves.
Yeah, so much things, twists and turns, a lot of things to do. I feel like if I would not be able to handle everything, so that's one of the things that I will leave secret. But I do fear that it will find its way back to us one way or another. But it will not be from my tongue.
I nod.
So you guys plan on heading out to the hills?
Yeah, we're pretty much kind of quick stepping it there now.
Okay. And the same thing you noticed before. There is no white whatsoever. It just seems like it's just a sea of red as you look off into the distance. You're not sure what that means or what that bodes for the future.
I suggest to Rehan, I turn around and say, perhaps we should make some filters again for our breathing. Do not know how well it would help, but perhaps keep some of the bigger particles of this red matter out of our lungs. And I had my, my old, did I get a second robe? I forgot if I had a second robe or not.
I think you did.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and my old robe that I probably just kept in my backpack. I rip off 2 different pieces that's like handkerchief size and pass one to Rehan if he's in need of one. I wrap mine around my face and or my nose and mouth. Kind of old West style with the upside down triangle.
So, as you guys are walking, you
face the same.
You start to hear what sounds like drums in the very, very distant areas. You think that they're coming from upward that the elf estate is, where the spirit of the dead elf with the rings that you guys had dealt with. It seems like it's coming from up there, and you know that that's also where the entrance to the Dwarf Kingdom is.
Okay. I say I should make haste to where that sound is coming from.
We should.
Deal with this matter head on.
I nod. I only hope that it is not war drums that we hear. Does it sound like rhythmic, like boom, 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 boom?
That's definitely a march step.
I nod.
Yeah, they're like deep drums. It's not necessarily like, high pitched, but it seems like big, I don't know, heavy drums that they're beating.
Perhaps that is the dwarves coming into town. Is that not one of the happenings soon to happen?
I hope not.
The revenge on the town.
Let's have a look at it ourselves.
So let's try the stealthy approach and have them walk into us. And also they could be I would like to see what this red cloud how it might affect them, since we have not experienced an effect ourselves.
As you guys are getting closer, why don't you roll under wisdom with the d20?
That's 1 under, cool.
Under wisdom. Okay, I succeeded.
Okay.
Succeeded.
You both start to see white again, not just red, and it seems like the white coloring or something is moving, and it's headed in the direction of that elven estate towards the drums.
I take notice to the white aura, air moving towards those drums.
It almost seems like it's like if it was a white person, like a horde of white humanoids or things or animals. They're all congregating and moving in that direction.
So this is like almost like the way I'm picturing this in my head. Like there's this red air from the.
No, it's just red leaves on all the greenery. Like
Okay,
all the trees have been possessed by these red leaves.
Okay, so that white glow is separate. Okay.
Yeah, it's something.
Okay.
You weren't able to see it before, but for some reason now you can. And it's moving. But it's not moving towards you. It's moving away from you.
Remind me of a gathering of spirits, perhaps. They seem to take shape. This white glow has shape and form.
Remember what happened last time we found spirits in this area. Let us be cautious.
Yes. Perhaps a bird's eye view upon a tree or a high hill. I don't know if we should press down the main path.
It is a good idea. A higher vantage point would be the best option at this point.
Well, you guys actually have a pretty good vantage point because the hills and the mountains sort of climb up before you as you're headed up.
Okay.
There really isn't. I mean, you could stand on top of a hill, I guess, but you guys eventually do that, and it seems you don't really see much else.
There's a.
Just need to get there to see what's closer.
I guess we wouldn't notice any smoke from like people marching or a band of people.
You see no smoke
burning or anything. Okay.
As you do get closer, however, you will see the estate. Remember how you saw it off in the distance before? And it does seem like there's lots of movement there. You see dark shapes moving. Every once in a while, the twinkling of the sun glinting off metal. Seems like there's a good amount of things there.
So that's the elven estate.
Yeah.
Okay. Perhaps they know about this thing coming here.
The white shapes, the white things, whatever they are, have not reached that point yet, but they're headed in that direction.
What do you make of this, Rayhan?
think I might need to get in closer.
So we should probably head it closer to the estate.
I nod.
So yeah, I try to take a careful approach to the estate too, not down the direct path, but maybe off to the side of if there's any walkway or anything like that, entrance road.
Yeah, the path that was there was pretty much the only one. You can go off of the path; it'll just take longer, but it's totally possible. You just have to weave in and out of trees and maybe climb up little faces of rock here and there, but nothing too difficult.
As long as it keeps us somewhat in the sneak area. I guess.
At that point, when you get to that spot where you have to veer off the trail, as far as the eye can see, there's just nothing but red leaves. On the ground, you'll see what looks like rotten white flower petals, the blossoms. And you'll also see like these cracked open white, almost translucent. It almost looks like a fruit or something, like if you would hollow out an apple that was translucent instead of having red skin. That's what it looks like.
But it's a beautiful sight, actually, how you just described everything, red and white.
And if you step on them, they sort of shatter like very weak glass, and they shatter into dust. So you're guessing the reason you couldn't see them is these fragments, this shattered fruit, these white blossoms have fallen underneath the leaf cover, the tree cover.
Yeah.
But all the fruit is empty. There's nothing inside of them.
I really don't know what to make of this.
The only thing that as you look around, there's one thing that you saw when you were running past this trail to catch after that dwarf, the emissary, the ambassador to the town, the one that brought the sickness.
Yeah.
You do remember that there was one fruit that you saw that looked like this, and there was something moving inside. But you didn't stop to investigate at that time. And now there's just these fruit shells. I don't know how else to describe them.
So I'm suspecting now that they probably had something hatch out of them. If it looked like something was moving within the fruit before, and then these look like kind of half broken apart fruit, I guess.
Yeah, just the shell. There's nothing inside.
So, interesting.
Kind of reminds you of maybe even like a chicken's egg.
Okay.
The way they are, they're kind of fragile and they crack apart when you step on them.
So I tell Rayhan, I say, it looks as if something has made its way out of this fruit. Perhaps some kind of creature. I don't know yet.
And the thing is scary as you look around. There's probably like 10 or 12 shattered shells of these fruit underneath all of the trees, as far as the eye can see.
Wow.
The ground is littered with them.
Trying to take that all in. I wonder if that these spirits that we see form hatched from these fruits, come out of the fruit.
I'll nod to that, and I'll pick up one of these shells. And I'd imagine it would be like split open.
Yeah, it's sort of like a half of an eggshell. But like I said, they're like white and translucent.
Is there, as I open it, as I'm looking at the opening, is it like is there an impression of whatever would have been hatched from it?
You see scratch marks on the inside of it, and the edges, like where the two halves sort of come together, it seems like there was pieces that broke off from the inside out.
I guess I'm looking around too to see if there's any that has yet to be hatched.
Well, are you willing to sort of? I'm guessing you're still walking, right? As you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if there's surrounding as far as the eye could see, and just as I'm walking, I'm definitely maybe I'm swifting up the leaf every so often, as I'm climbing. If I lean down to go under a branch, I might move my hand across the leaves to look underneath. But keeping a move in a stealthy, slow pace. But I'm definitely keeping an eye out for any that might have not hatched yet or look broken.
After about 20 minutes of moving and checking and sort of looking around, you do find one. It seems like it's the only one that hasn't fallen from a tree. But you'll also notice that a lot of the broken fruit around the bottom of it seems somewhat different color. You're not really sure if it's maybe fresher or just a different variation. You're not sure, but there is some movement in one of the fruit. You see it off in the distance. It's sort of shaking like an ornament on a Christmas tree. If there was like a little mouse or something inside of it, that's how it's shaking.
So that's about how big it is too, as well, or
like an apple.
Okay.
Yeah, like an ornament on a tree, something like that.
I have no way to capture it, keep it in something. I don't have nothing big enough. I say, take notice to this, Rayhan. Looks like we might see what comes out of this fruit. I point ahead to where I see it moving, and kind of break my pattern of being silent and quiet, I guess, and I kind of anxiously go to that fruit that's moving.
If you both get close to it, you see what looks like a vague humanoid figure with white hands, white feet, sort of an amorphous body that takes takes the shape of a humanoid torso and legs. There's a nondescript, flat face. It's just sort of a nub where the head is, and it's moving around inside the container. On its small fingers, you do see what look like little sharp, spindly claws that are scratching at the inside of it, trying to break free.
Okay. I'm kind of trying to tune into my past and whatever knowledges I might have forcefully gained of magical creatures and the types. I guess I'm trying to have a memory on that.
You do remember that all this started from what you assumed was demon's blood that appeared in your spell book. You're thinking that whatever this is probably isn't beneficial. It has maybe some purpose to it. But it looks like a very small, vaguely humanoid shape inside this fruit trying to break free.
It's interesting to me because my mind is going to that it's trying to defend it. The land is defending itself from this other approaching, whatever it is approaching with the war drums. Somehow the blood has awakened the consciousness in this land that made hatchlings of some sort. The white that we've seen in the sky is now headed to that direction for perhaps defend. I mean, Ramelzi's mind is constantly mixed up, trying to understand what's good and what's bad. What's evil and what's good. So it's really confusing to him what's going on. He understands that it's connected to that first experience walking on the trail with the blood dripping out of his book. I guess, if I look at Rayhan and try to see if he has anything to say, expression on his face, and kind of move on from there.
I just, as this scene played out, like this creature this white thing that came out of it, I'll be staring at it as we're walking. My thoughts would be going on kind of back towards my dream while I was running through this field. In my dream, I'm thinking, were these fruits in the trees? Were they already gone? Was it a premonition of sorts?
So you're trying to remember your dream again. You remember the leaves, and you do remember there being white in the trees. You think that you try to contemplate, you close your eyes. You think in your dream there were fruits still on the trees.
Okay.
That they were moving.
Okay. And this creature, this thing that came out of it.
Well, it's actually still in the fruit. It's just
Still-
trying. It's trying to break out.
Okay. It is worth studying. If the fruit is within arm's reach, I'll yank it
Okay.
free.
It seems fragile yet durable. It seems like it would be, if you threw this to the ground, it would probably shatter, but it has some hardness to it.
Okay.
Maybe like a fragile hardness, like an egg.
Okay. I'll look towards Ramalzi. Are there more of these fruits around?
This is the only one that you see that hasn't hatched yet.
Okay.
And you had to walk for like 20 minutes even to find this one.
Okay. I'll see if we have anything that we could store this in.
It's something that would hold the hatched creature as well. I was thinking of this earlier. I'm looking through my bottles and I don't think any opening, or I don't have a bottle big enough to put it in.
You guys look around you, and there are plenty of sticks and twigs around. The idea might come that you can make a cage.
Okay, yeah,
Unless you have something with you.
I was thinking of something like that.
Cage is a good idea. Let's take 10 minutes and build a cage.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I'll use still I have that old robe. I can cut really thin slivers to use as rope to tie the little pieces together, perhaps.
Yeah.
So I'll gather some sticks that look healthy and still kind of green, so they'll have a toughness to them. Small enough. I'm trying to judge how big the creature would be, and try my best to tinker all this together, and maybe Rayhan can try to build one himself.
As you're as you guys
right?
are doing this and making this little cage for it and tying it all together, you'll look over at the fruit, and there are 2 of them now inside the fruit. You'll see that the legs and the torso have split apart, and the legs are growing a new torso, and the torso are growing legs inside the fruit.
Wow.
And the fingers are still chipping away at the inside of it, and you'll see the toes of the little feet are also trying to break the shell.
So we must do this quick.
Mm.
So I'm trying to think of how fast. I guess I'm trying to sum up the time frame here.
You have a pretty good sized cage already formed. You're probably just finishing the top at this point.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm
like
gonna go
a
ahead.
little hatch or something with little cloth hinges.
Okay, yeah. What I'm going to do too is, as I guess I'll pass it to Rayhan and say, finish this up. I'm going to get another piece of cloth and put the fruit in it and just grab it like a sack for now. So I'm going to pluck the fruit.
Well, Rayhan already did actually.
Okay.
But yeah, he just probably has it in his hand, and you're seeing this happen.
Yeah, so I'll say drop it into the sack, and I'll just close the sack until we get this little cage, I guess, finished.
I do just that. Have it wrapped, and as I'll put it in the cage already as we're putting the top on.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
And I'll as the top is on, I'll give it a good yank just to see the integrity of it.
It seems like it doesn't give way or break or anything like that.
And I'll make sure there's a handle on it so we can just, without anything scratching at our fingers as we're carrying this thing around.
Yeah, it seems like that's perfectly plausible.
Perfect. And knowing that these, that time is of the essence, sort of, and we just spent a good 10 minutes making this thing.
Yeah.
I'll look to Ramalzu to see who wants to carry it.
I don't mind if you need to keep a hand free. I do hold a staff. I could probably, what I'll do is tie it to my belt. It'll be a bumpy ride, but I'll leave it to where I can see it, like it's on the outside of my robe. With my belt that's, I guess, keeping my robe closed. Kind of give it a hang, like a pouch, I guess, on my front leg.
That would be for the best. So
in the distance, you hear the war drums stop beating.
I do try to take notice about on the estate. Are we still headed that direction, or is it that we passed that, or
no? You were headed in that direction. You just basically just were off the path.
I'm just trying to see if all those movements and shadows that I was seeing earlier have subsided or stopped, or are they continuing?
It takes some time to find a place where the red leaves aren't obscuring your vision from where you are now. But eventually you find a spot. One of the trees must have been hit by lightning or something. And there's an open area there, and you look over, and it seems like there's a battle going on. You see the glint of many weapons. It's almost like a twinkling of just all the reflections of the sun hitting all the exposed blades and axes and warhammers. But you see a blending of what look like soldiers and just chaotic white in and amongst them. Seems like battle is happening.
So I'm trying to look at everything, the what do you call it, the profiles of the beings battling. So I'm taking it and I'm seeing like an elven kind of build, perhaps, if I can notice that.
You're too far off to see. The only thing you would know is that that's where the dwarf entrance is to their kingdom. So you would maybe guess that that's dwarves versus these little white fruit creatures.
Okay. That's kind of what I was suspecting earlier in my many paths of thinking.
Let's get in closer.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can give aid.
After probably about another 30 minutes of climbing up, through the hills and the rocky outcroppings, holding onto trees and climbing them in places that are too rough to climb the ground, you eventually make it to one of the clearings, the edge of the estate. And even before then, you hear the sound of battle, of dying, of murder. And you eventually get to a part where you can peer through the red leaves, the foliage, and in front of you see the things you saw before there, the old buildings. There was a hedge and a maze and all these things, and lots of open ground. And everywhere there's open ground, there's violence. You'll see dwarves covered in 5, 6, sometimes 20 of these white creatures that are scratching at them and trying to climb in their mouths and hacking at their hands. And the dwarves seem like they're killing lots of them, but they are overwhelmed. They are covered. Some of them are fleeing and running off the cliffside to plummet to their deaths. It seems that they're putting up a valiant struggle, but if you had to guess, you would think that even with great casualties, these little white fruit creatures are probably going to win the day.
So the little fruit creatures are winning.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
You'll see. Also, I guess I forgot. You'll see big gouts of flame every once in a while from metal contraptions that they have set up on wheels. There's a couple people pulling levers, and that does prove to be very effective against them. They wither and die, but they make no noise. But there's just so many of them that it just isn't working as well as it. It's just not enough.
Yeah.
I'll glance back to Ramals, and say our involvement, it would not change the tide of battle, I don't think.
Yes, that's what I see as well. a lot of information. It was hard for me to retain a lot of information on the dwarves. So many weird things have happened, and so I take it that this would be their invasion, revenge, perhaps. And the land somehow responded to this. I'm confused, but where did the dwarves stand with you?
I have never met a dwarven culture before.
Nor I.
These dwarves here, although they played a ruse on the townsfolk for many years, we did try to forge a peace. It seems now that since the dwarves are being destroyed before our very eyes, we no longer have to worry about them being a threat to the town.
While you guys are talking, one of the contraptions that was spewing fire explodes. A huge gout of flame rises to the sky and takes out a big swath of both dwarves and these white creatures. Your hair might blow back. You feel, even from this distance, you feel warmth on your face.
Yeah, I'm wide-eyed and kind of just amazed, looking up at the sky, trying to balance myself. Go ahead.
These creatures, they will present as I kind of like wipe the heat from my face as sweat is forming on my brow. These creatures, they will present a threat to the town, I believe.
They will or will not?
Will. Eventually they will. You know how superstitious the people are.
Yeah. Perhaps they're just hatched for this one purpose. I do not know. I don't see what use they would have unless all the peoples that lived in this town and built this town has disrespected them as well, or the land perhaps. They will take their revenge out on them as well.
I'll nod as I'm looking towards the battle, and I'm staring at the creatures. I want to see if there's like a semblance of intelligence to their tactics, or whether they're just being like chaotically attacking as a mass.
It seems like they have probably slightly more than animal intelligence. They are attacking single targets in a group. Like I said, there's 5 or 6 of them, or up to 20 of them attacking a single dwarf. But it's hard to tell because there's just so many of them. They might just be attacking everything that moves. It's hard to tell.
Do we hear any echoes of conversation or anything from those creatures? Like anything that might be like like a language?
It's deadly silent from them. You hear screams and cries and death threats and war chants from the dwarves as they're fighting, but nothing from the white creatures.
Is this like a mile long battle, or like what's the size? I'm trying to get
probably about 20 acres of ground.
Okay.
The estate was pretty large.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all happening right in front of your eyes.
I turn to Rayhan and say, I am new at seeing battles this great. I do not know what to do. Perhaps send warning into town.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
To send warning. These dwarves, I believe that they are done for.
Another one of their contraptions explodes. Flames go everywhere.
Even if we were to go back to town and muster the militia and arrive, it would take too long. I survey just to see how many dwarves I believe might be left.
You're guessing that there's probably about 300 dwarves left, and just looking around, you think that there was probably around 2,000 that started. Their corpses are being trampled underfoot by other dwarves and by these creatures. But at the same token, you see thousands of these white creatures. Their bodies become translucent and cracked just like their shells do when they die, except the burnt ones apparently, who just turn to ashes. But they're everywhere. The ground itself, it looks like it's snowing. There's so many of these corpses.
We need to go.
Are they dying by after they do their task, or they're dying because none of them are just falling out of the sky for no reason?
Yeah,
right?
you don't see them like attacking and then fall off.
Okay.
It seems like they've been hacked to pieces. They've been burned, stabbed, smashed.
Okay.
These sorts of things. And inside your cage, you hear a kind of noise, and then you feel more movement inside there.
Yeah, I look down to see, how far it's come along.
You'll see two white creatures that are grabbing and trying to put their hands out between the holes in the cage, they're swinging their hands around a little bit, but they seem pretty well trapped in there, and they have no eyes whatsoever, just a smooth white surface, over like a little round oval-shaped head.
Okay, I'm gonna. I noticed that perhaps I do notice that I know that these are magical creatures, and they have to communicate some way. I bring the cage closer to my face and have a look and notice that they have no physical communicational parts to their face.
But you smell them. There seems to be an odor to them. It's not unpleasant. It smells like blossoms and pollen, these sorts of things.
I close my eyes and try to think of the question as focused as I possibly can, even though that there's a lot of distractions, and ask, who are you and what is your purpose? I'm just saying that over and over, trying to get them to perhaps, maybe send them some ESP of some sort, trying my best to communicate, whether I think I can or not.
You see no response, and they don't change their behavior.
Okay.
Rayhan, do you do anything?
I am kind of skittish. Like, I've had a pretty emotionless, expressionless face, but I'm seeing like a serious threat towards the future, and these trees have been there for a long time. I'm kind of glancing at Ramalzi and just passively looking in the direction that we just came from, and I'll say we need to go. The longer we stay here, the chances are that these things might end up seeing us once the slaughter is finished.
Rayhan, you get another sudden vision from nowhere. Your eyes are filled with sights of some other thing running. You see the dark red skin, the hair, running, pain, lots of pain. The eyes look down at its arms, and it's covered in white. These creatures are writhing over it, scratching at its arms and its legs, on its face. And then you see that it sort of ends when it dives into one of the ponds. And then you come back to yourself.
I'll take a deep breath. I'll be breathing pretty haggardly, as if just finished like a panic attack or something. And I'll say, we really need to go.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
I'll start backing away.
And I take notice of exactly, what Rayhan is saying and wanting to do. And so I just greet him with the expression of, yes, let's go. My eyes, the acceptance. And with hastily start making a step. As I'm doing that, of course, though, I put the trapped, seeming to be some type of fairy creatures, I put them back down on my belt.
Okay. And then you guys head down the mountain?
Yeah.
I want to, as we're leaving the tree line, I'll say, do we know of these trees if they will burn? Have we tried this before?
Nah, I don't. I believe we haven't tried anything or tried to apply any magic or anything to these trees to get rid of them.
I'll pull a branch down.
Do you try to break it off, or are you just trying to keep it intact?
No, I want to break it off.
When you break it off, blood runs out of the tree.
Staring at it for a while, I'll take a few steps back. I'll drop to a knee and I'll try to start a fire.
The wood seems very wet, and it's hard for it to light, but eventually it will burn.
How big is? We're trying to. I guess I'm trying to notice how big the forest is. How many of the trees look like this compared to other vegetation? Like, how big would this fire spread, perhaps, or should we control it?
The sides of the mountains, all of the hills in this area are covered with trees, miles.
So it's almost like trying to light a jungle on fire. The trees are wet, so it's not going to really work.
There seems to be a lot of blood that's running out of the tree, so you get the feeling that all the branches are just packed with this red, blood or blood-like substance. Very moist.
Yeah, I'll just leave the branch, drop it right beside the tree, and
Yeah.
Well, something strange happens when you do that, actually. The blood from the branch that hits the ground starts to form roots, and the little branch that you dropped will start to move itself upwards at a very slow pace as the roots sink into the ground.
I'm starting to feel that this is bigger than we can deal with, my friend. Perhaps this is a nature of the land far greater than any magic I've come across. Or it is definitely overwhelming. I do not really see how to dispose of these trees. I've thought of using different things, like lightning perhaps, but if it just causes more trees to bloom from the blood, as if these were living creatures with demon blood that procreates itself, I am at a loss of how to handle this.
Perhaps, if we are lucky, the trees will stop before it hits the village, and hopefully winter will take its course.
I'm putting my hopes on I'm putting my hopes where they're only blooming for a purpose, and perhaps take leave when their purpose is done. I'm hoping so that that's what will happen in the future. I can't see any other way to try to control this myself.
Well, we have the cage. Perhaps if we bring it to the alchemist, he might concoct a way to kill these things easy. Or I would bring a piece of the tree with me. However, now that what we saw, that might just be a bad idea.
Maybe some of the blood is all that's needed.
Maybe.
I'm going to go ahead and empty out. Where is it here? I'll go ahead and empty out this dark green potion. I smell it first. When I open it, I smell it, and I try to see, if I'm familiar with the smell, the color. Have I ever ran into anything familiar about this one potion?
It smells similar, but different than those healing potions that you drank earlier.
Mm-hmm. I'll go ahead and shoot. Not really wanting to waste time. I'll go ahead and dump it. Probably in this situation, I wouldn't care as much. I just want to figure out, what we can do to stop these trees from spreading. So yeah, I dump it, and I look at the ground to where the blood is dripped, I guess, off the branch, or if any more blood is coming out of the branch, and if it is, I'll just try to get my bottle, either scoop it or touch the branch and let it drip into the bottle.
Yeah, it's still running out of the side of the tree, so it's pretty easy.
Okay. Yeah. I just notch it right under the run then and let it pour in. Then I cap it with a cork, tight as I can. This one I'm going to also tie on my belt in front of my robe so I can keep an eye on it.
All right, you guys head to town then?
Yep.
All right, about halfway there, while you're still in the tree cover, you start to hear a loud rustling behind you and also to your sides.
I suspect trolls right away. So.
Seems like it's all the way, almost all the way around you, except for right in front of you.
I'll draw my weapon.
I pull my wand out.
Who's there? Who's there?
Speak up.
You'll start to see small white figures approaching from behind you and from your sides, and they're walking slowly.
The same little figures that we suspect?
Yeah, the same three creatures.
They're walking slowly, huh? They don't look like their hands are up or...
Their hands are up.
Okay.
But they're not running at you, and you saw them running and attacking the dwarves.
I'll fumble with my free hand to where I keep my trail rations. And I'll throw some food down, into their midst.
You'll see that they walk on top of it like it's just part of the landscape.
Okay, what I'm going to do real quick, without hesitation, I'm going to cast Phantasmal Force about 10 foot away from us in the shape of Bo, the last dwarf that I've seen, I believe, personally.
Does Phantasmal Force create an illusion, or is it just move things?
Illusion of creatures that can actually, of any of the last creatures you've seen that it's in your memory, that can cause damage. Let me get the rules. I can read you the whole rules.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like it's just something that moves things, but if it's an illusion, okay.
Let's see here. I've been wanting to use it for a while. This spell creates a creature the caster has previously seen that will obey his every mental command. However, it only exists in the mind of those seeing, smelling, or hearing it. The first time a phantasmal creature causes damage in combat, the victim receives a saving throw versus magic. But I'm not going to use it to attack. Okay. I just want to see
That's cool.
What
so
happens.
You see Bo the dwarf.
Yep.
Come back from the dead.
Sorry about this, Bo. So yeah, I just wanted to see how the little creatures reacted to the dwarf, if they notice it.
Okay, there's one thing else you have to do though. You have to roll a d20.
Okay, that's right. And that's a 20.
Oh wow. Okay.
The first one on that.
That's cool. Back here. All right, so Ramalzi is casting these things. You're throwing out food. Is there any other reaction you have while this is going on? Let's see.
I'll be defensive. If these guys are just moving quiet, slowly towards us, and they're all around us, I'll hold my weapon to myself, not pointing at them, but kind of pointing it, so the point is kind of skyward, and I'll be loose on my feet. I don't want to be, locked in a stance, but I'll be kind of loose on my feet as I'm watching them approach me.
Okay. I'm going to roll on the wild magic table here. And it's going to be a D30. Okay. see here. Caster can cast a bunch of spells in addition for the rest of than you normally can for the rest of the day. So why don't you roll a d6, Lamentations?
Okay. That wasn't too bad. I was scared there for a minute.
Yeah,
That's a 5.
All right, so you can cast 5 additional spells today that you normally can't.
Oh, wow.
So
So I can just basically remember any of the spells I already had.
you can
Okay.
pick new ones if you want. That's fine.
No, I'm not going to pick new ones out of my spell book. Just
I guess
seems
multiple.
like
Okay.
it'd make more sense if I just can only recast the ones that I already used today. That's probably how I'd play that one out.
So the creatures sort of let's see here. Let me roll for them. Let me roll. Okay, the creatures sort of stop moving when the dwarf appears right before them. The rest of them do start to surround you, however. There was the way that you were headed, but the group of them has now filled up that space, so they're all the way around you. And at some point, they stop moving towards you. So you're in the center of, you would guess, thousands of these things. But your vision is obscured. It's hard to tell with the red leaves and trees.
Yeah. So they're not attacking our illusion of bow at all, huh?
No, they seem to have stopped.
They know. I guess they might not just be against dwarves. Maybe a certain set of dwarves. I'm thinking to myself, or perhaps they know they can see through the illusion.
The creatures in your cage start to move more so than normal, and you'll see whenever they do that, all the white creatures move back about a foot.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go ahead and let them out. I set the cage on the ground. I would kneel down to my knees, or almost to my knees, set the cage on the ground with the door opening faced away from me, so when I open it, the back of the little hatch, I'm at the back of it, and the front is towards the forest.
Okay, well, I'll let Rayhan react to that. So you'll see Ramalzi getting out the cage, putting it down on the ground, looks like he's going to open the cage.
Are you sure that's a good idea? They might not be attacking us because we have one of theirs.
You might be right. I'm always thinking the opposite. In these situations, I felt like perhaps they're surrounding us because we are holding one of their kind, creating a threat. I feel less threat from them after I see that they didn't attack our friend here, our elusive friend. If it's not too late, I will put the lid down as we discuss this.
Yeah, they haven't been let out yet. Like I said, I was giving them a reaction. So
how many do we have?
There's only 2 in there. It seems like, I guess, from what you guess, 2 creatures come out of every fruit shell.
I'll say let's try to be sensible. Maybe let out one and see what happens. That way we still have the other.
Okay. I'll try my best to do that. Trying to keep one in and one out. I don't know if they'll cooperate with me or not.
Let's see here. So you want to let one out and keep one in. How about you roll under dexterity? Sort of like a nimble sort of thing.
1 over.
Okay, so Ramalzi starts to let these creatures out. One gets out, and then you'll see the crowd of them around you get about 2 steps closer. They all move closer whenever one gets out. The second one, however, you said 1 over?
Yeah.
It's pretty close. The second one almost gets all the way out. It gets one of its legs caught, however, in the bottom of the cage. Its foot steps down into it, and it's almost out. And at that point, the rest of them step forward like 4 or 5 steps, and they get really close to you guys. But then they stop. The creature that's been let free runs into the group and turns around and faces you. Well, it doesn't really have a face, but the front of its head looks in your direction.
I do speak right away. I say, can you not bond with your people and speak? Can you not bond with your fellow creatures and speak? We do not understand what you need and what you want. What is your purpose?
You smell a pungent odor all of a sudden. Very very strong, a little unpleasant. It's a way to describe a smell.
I smell it too.
Yeah, everyone does.
I'll tighten I guess it was a handkerchief or something we placed around our noses.
Yeah.
Or our faces. I'll kind of hold on to that for a bit as I plug my nose.
You almost get the feeling that they are moving forward like that. That they would have kept coming if the creature hadn't got stuck in the cage.
We need to go.
Okay. I catch on, and I say, yes, let's go.
You try to shove it back in. What do you do?
I thought I... Okay.
We have one in the cage, right?
Yeah, there's one its foot is stuck in the bottom of the cage, but the door is still open.
Alright.
Yeah, I definitely shut that up, yeah. Keep him in the cage.
Alright, if you guys move, the creatures will move away from you, and it's like you have like an area around you that they won't come in. They sort of part for you as you move.
All right. So we must keep this on us for now. It seems to be a way of warding these creatures. And I take it that I'm right behind Rayhan as he leads the way.
Another thing that you notice is they're so close to you now is you look down into the cage, look at them. You think the ones that you have in the cage are somehow larger. The one that you have left.
Yeah, in my mind, I don't know what to make of that besides just pointing it out to Rayhan. Saying, look at this, it seems bigger than the rest.
And the one we released was also bigger?
It was about the same size as the other ones.
Okay, perfect. I'll grin a bit and I'll say, let us hurry back to the town.
Okay. Let's hurry.
If you guys hurry, they will part for you, and eventually you will move faster than they can. But they are following you out of the mountains.
Okay.
Should I stay back for a moment?
No. Let us go take a roundabout path, not travel directly in the direction of the town.
Eventually, you guys will get to the edge of the trees, red leaf trees, and then they will stop. They won't go any further.
Perfect. Perhaps this creature that we have, clearly it is significant to them. It might just... now, I have seen the way that ants behave and the way that bees behave. They live in colonies. One thing they all have in common, these colonies, is that there's always one leader, one of these creatures at the head of everything. Usually a female of the group. It is possible that what we have might be one of such creatures.
It definitely shows important to the rest of its kind. That makes sense to me. Who should we tell of what we found out here? Perhaps the mayor or soon-to-be mayor?
I was thinking the mayor, yes. We should inform him of what we have found. The dangers of what lies just beyond.
As you're glancing back to the trees, you'll see that some of the creatures have tried to come out into the grass, and then they just fall down and shatter into pieces. You'll also see that some other ones are starting to hack at the lower parts of the tree trunk, and they're gathering the blood in their little tiny hands, and they're throwing it outwards.
Wow.
They are bound by the trees, so they want to spread tree line. Understandable.
I'm trying to, I guess I'm taking notice how fast that process might be if throughout the whole time we were here and the times that we did witness the blood growing the tree. I'm trying to estimate how long before a tree is there.
You're not sure. All you know is that in the the blood was possessing already formed trees.
Okay.
And then leaves would form. The red leaves would form out of the already existing branches.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
Okay. We might not have much time to figure this out, but let's move on.
Agreed.
The one that
then.
the one that you have in the cage seems to be laying down in the cage now, but it's still moving its head around, and every once in a while it'll try to break free. It seems like it's acting slightly different.
I'm trying to see if maybe it looks like it's just trying to rest, or is it growing weak and trying to, by its body movements, trying to see if it's still healthy.
It's a smooth white creature, so any sort of trying to guess what it's feeling
like
or doing.
Slumpy compared to how it looked, I guess, standing.
Yeah, it was standing up before, now it's laying down. So
okay.
That's the only thing you notice, so you can guess however you wish.
All right.
But that's probably a good place to break. We're almost to 1 o'clock, so you're heading back towards town with a large white fruit creature in a cage.
My mind's blown this time, man. I don't even know what realm I'm even in, what kind of setting and everything. Like, my mind's blown. These situations seem to get so much bigger and stranger, to where, I'm gonna have to seek out a master wizard somewhere that has some older lord than me and start helping me out or something.
So what'd you think about today's session, Isaac?
It's good, man. I liked. I really liked the gnome trapped in the barn with the whole family thing.
Yeah.
I like that negotiation aspect.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I didn't know where that would pull us if we got fooled into it. I guess it doesn't really matter because something's going to get us crazy no matter where we go. There's going to be a crazy twist.
Well, you saw the withered corpse of his wife, being pumped up with gnome blood.
Yeah.
So,
I liked the relaxed feeling I had today, and more thinking more about what was going on and kind of in that discussion mode. That was kind of interesting to me. I like relaxing, playing kind of relaxed that way sometimes. Trying to really figure out what's going on, I guess, is what's taking most of the thought process. And less words and more thinking.
I'm guessing you guys didn't think little white creatures were going to come out of the trees, right?
Yeah.
No, wasn't expecting that.
See, what my mind first went to thinking, like, they got summoned by the elves or something, perhaps, and they're going to ward off these dwarves that have been beefing with this town for a long time, perhaps. And so the twist on that, I'm still kind of dazed. Are we thinking about that tonight? Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, go.
I was going to say, I totally see them in my head. We have these little white, really small little dust things that my sister calls fairies, that float around in the mornings. And then I just seen one online or on Facebook or something, a natural place that just posted it, and it was like, it's like little creatures that have this dust on it. So the whole time I'm seeing these same creatures in the game, like, wow, this is cool, another crossover. That I'm experiencing in game that I just learned about in life. So it was cool. I totally have that visual. But go ahead.
I can't remember. I was gonna say something. I can't remember what it was. I had a lot of fun today. I was kind of curious to see when you guys would do something about the trees. Like I mean, it's kind of obvious that it's happening because it's like you guys look up at the mountains. It's like, oh, it's more red today. But it was
maybe
good slow boil.
Maybe it's because I'm Canadian and red maple trees. So it feels more like home.
Oh, yeah, I guess I never thought about that.
That's not strange at all.
Canada is invading Pembrooktonshire.
Watch out. Watch out.
All right, guys. I don't think I had any problem recording today. We'll find out if this program worked any better.
Yeah, cool.
I also picked mono instead of stereo because I think that was part of the reason that it was messed up last time.
Okay.
We'll see if it sounds like crap. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Carl either. He said he was going to show up late. He had never logged in. So
It's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'm sure he'll be there next week.
yeah, I was kind of hoping he was going to be there for the birth of his child.
Yeah.
But
That was a weird one to deal with. I didn't really know what to do with that, but I acted the way I guess Ramelzi would, it's like, man, I just, I'm so detached from this part of life, what do I do with this? Here, take it.
that'll be interesting to see what happens with what the church does with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, guys. I guess that's it for today. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Take it easy.
And
All right, later, Zig.
we'll see if we play next week or not. I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.